Western!
In front of your friends, you know what I'm into, hey, you be mine, I take it slow. I've run a beat, and it's just happened. Like it weren't Western at the time. It was them three. Like it just happened. Like it weren't a session. It weren't a nothing. Like it was just gold. You know, like when you just strike gold.
Stop that. Pause it for a second. Hailey is dirty.
Yeah, he is.
He is dirty.
Akil, real name Akil Charles, from the West London hip-hop group Western, is said to have been detained by the Met yet again.
What? Yeah, lit. Fresh on, yeah? Fresh on, bro.
Western are a group coming out of West London and were created in 2015 after their massive hit single Into. But in 2024, group member Akil was arrested on firearm charges and sentenced to 6 years and 9 months in jail, which changed the whole trajectory, direction and future of Western.
But before we get into all of that, let's take it way back to where it all began. Western are made up of 3 members who are Hailey from Fulham, Louis Ray from Harrow Road, and Akil from Shepherd's Bush.
And actually Akil and Hailey are cousins. So they come from a very musical family and have always been influenced by music. The older brother of Hailey is a huge producer in the UK called Progressions, who has produced some of the biggest hits you didn't even know. I think he was in a part of Man's Not Hot by Big Shaq. I think he was part of the production of that. He produced it, Stormzy's album, This Is What I Mean. Was it This Is What It Means or something like that? This Is What I Mean or something like that. He produced that, and he produced also parts of Heavy Is the Head. So he's a huge producer in the UK. And he's produced some big songs for Western as well, like Ben Over, Medusa and Night and Day. And of course, he's been their main producer. He's produced so many bangers for Western throughout the years and just is a talented producer that I don't think gets enough credit.
Another important part of Western is Angel, who is Akil's brother. He's a director, producer, singer. He's had a big song back in the day called Wonderful that was on the radio. I remember that when I was a youth in school. He's had other songs like Blessings. He had a song recently that he dropped last year with IQ and Hailey as another banger as well. And you can see the influence that he's had on Akil as well, because he's a very good singer.
Yeah, all of them are, the whole family. I would say Hailey, just all of them. They're all musically, even Progression. He doesn't sing or rap, but the musical talent in that group is out of the world. I think they deserve more recognition for the level, because nowadays there's a lot of rappers. You're not good. You're not. I'll just straight up. You're not, or singers. You're not good. Your marketing is good. The way you sell the product is good. You are not actually a good musician. These are musicians to the core. They live and breathe music. They've got everything under one roof.
Yeah.
So they can produce, they all understand each other, they grew up with each other, they understand exactly what they're looking for, compared to a lot of other people where you're just a rapper. You have to get a beat from there, and you have to get a producer from, you have to get an engineer from there, and you have to get a cameraman from there, and you have to just, they actually understand everything about the package. And I feel like music like that, I feel like music in the 70s and 80s and 90s, of course, I wasn't alive, I can't be talking about music before I was alive, but looking back, the music them times, it was a lot more based on the quality of the music. Morgan Keys is an important director, videographer and manager and A&R, and the list just keeps going in the UK rap game. And he's managed Western for years and also managed Louis Ray before Western, and is influential in Western, and they blow up, and just all the success they've had, he's influential in that. And he was the one that actually created the name Western. I think I've watched the interview about it, and he said he was about to call them Westway, and I don't think that would have started. I swear there's a group called Westway. I swear, or West something. Westlife, yeah, exactly. Imagine you named it something. It sounds too poppy. Western suits it because it's like it's a bit. You know what I mean? It suits. I feel like it suits like London a bit more. So the whole reason Western started was because of this massive tune Into, which blew up the charts and hit 4th in the UK in 2015. You couldn't go anywhere without hearing Into that summer. That summer Into was everywhere because it blended a pop type of tune with the streets. It was like a blend of both. Yeah, that tune, I think it just set the boundaries for the whole scene. It opened so many doors for people in the future. If you look at the Afro swing generation that happened in 2018, it opened the doors for all of that.
The likes of NSG, Belly Squad, the list goes on. Yeah. You can hear the influence from Into to that. And what's even mental as well is that it's their first song that they dropped to do that.
But it's a double-edged sword because it's their first song, but it's also, it's like pressure. It gives them pressure after, where we're gonna try and get to that same level, which is almost impossible because of how big that song was. At the time, there wasn't a song bigger than that in urban UK like rap and stuff like that. It wasn't. Do you get what I mean? So that tune, there's people that knew that tune and didn't even know Western. I think there's people still to this day they talk about, there's people that know that song and don't even know Western. That's how big the song was. Do you get what I mean? There's some artists and some songs, you know the song, but you don't even know the person.
I know what you mean. The song's bigger than them.
Yeah. And after Into, they created the Into remix, which featured Wretch 32, Chip, Gecko, and it just went mad. It went mad. Because what they did was that remix was made to like get the streets, I think, because the actual song got the charts and got all of that stuff, but that stuff was the scene. That's when the scene embraced Into, because they seen, oh, you lot are man them as well. Do you get what I mean? Because a lot of these man, I'll be real, no hate to them, man. They did their thing. But man like JLS and the Rizzle Kicks and them, like Rizzle Kicks are cold as well. I'm not saying these are good artists, but they don't relate to the roads. Do you get what I mean? Or they don't relate to, like, do you know what I mean? They relate to other man over there. Western, they do it both perfectly. They relate to the streets, but they also can relate to other people and other industries and gal, and do you get what I mean? So that they tick lots of boxes. The impact of that song was crucial, like, for the scene. It opened so many doors. People look at it now, where we have all these artists doing mad things. It wasn't like this back then. My favorite song from Western is Armageddon. Armageddon, and it's out of like a million in the streets of this outside Brazilian. One live life in me like William, and me traps like King William. Yeah, that tune is serious because it's got the voice of Hailey. It's got that gritty feel. It's got that rap feel, and he has Say So on a verse on that thing, and it just destroyed it. Louis Ray and Say So on that. They're very unique. It's a unique group, and the blend from the 3 different artists just works so well together. You have Louis Ray, who's like the rapper. He's like the UK rapper. He adds the grease to the group. You have Hailey, who is the singer with the mad voice. Like, that voice, no one, tell me someone in UK that can hit that voice. Word to Lippy. Listen to what Lippy said right here.
Stop that. Pause it for a second. Hailey is dirty.
Yeah, he is.
He is dirty.
But yeah, that voice is just out of this world, man. That voice is crazy. For example, that tune Can't Blame Me. He just locked that off differently. And then Akel, he's like the balance between both, where he can sing, but he can also rap. Where it's just, he's the middle ground. So it's like Hailey and Ray are like the opposites. But of course, Hailey could probably rap. I think there's videos of him years ago rapping, and Louis Ray can probably. We've heard him sing bare times.
Yeah. My favourite song from Western is Round Here featuring Scraps. I like this one because you got Hailey on the hook, once again doing his thing, and then you got these man. I'm more of a rap guy, so Louis Ray is my kind of guy. Love it when you're bad for everyone.
Yeah, this is why leave it to Hailey, big man. Leave it to Hailey. Louder, louder, louder. But yeah, that tune, the Scraps went mad. I grew up in the flats, never live in a house, warm, all fried up, eyes all gone. Like, if we just keep listing tunes, we can't finish the video. The amount of tunes they got. So Akel went to jail in 2017 for 4 years. This changed the dynamic of the group, and I've heard an interview from Louis Ray saying this was make or break, where they didn't know if they would carry it on or it would just, or do you get what I mean? It would have been the end of Western. They created an album called Double Back, an EP called Double Back, I think it is, or a mixtape. I think it's a mixtape. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It must be a mixtape.
Yeah.
It can't be an album.
But they created that mixtape, and also when Akel was gone, they created some of their biggest tunes like Texting,
Bend Over,
Why For That. You can't be telling man bend over. You know what I mean? But they created big tunes like that, and just they held it down. They held it down still. And when Akel was in jail, they dropped Western Season 2, which was the two of them, Hailey and Louis Ray. There was banger after banger, anthem after anthem on this EP or mixtape. I think it's a mixtape, but yeah, it was crazy, and it shows the difference between Western and other groups where if they lose an integral member, it all goes to shit. But with Western, because the quality is so high, they held it down and they dropped some of their best tunes. And I think even the One Ace tune, Vice Versa, I think it was just a duo. So it shows the quality of these artists compared to other groups when they lose their best member or someone who's maybe not their best member, someone that's like important to the group, it crumbles. Then Akel was freed after this.
What? Yeah, lit. Fresh on, yeah? Fresh on, bro.
Western released Western Season 3, which meant they were all reunited together again. We even ended up going to the concert ourselves, and the performance was amazing.
Yeah, let's go. See you soon. The main thing we could see was they actually sounded like themselves on the tune. There was no different and the difference is nowadays there's a lot of artists are studio artists where when they actually perform, they have to have the song in the back and they don't sound anywhere like what the song sounds like. These guys sounded exactly what you hear when you listen to them on Spotify or listen to them on whatever. Hailey's voice was exactly the same, and the main thing that was special about this performance, not special, but do you get what I mean? It shows how much dedication they have to what they're doing. Is Akel's father passed away before the show. And he said it at the show, and they still carried on with the performance, which shows that the courage and like it was just mad, like the level to just keep going. You didn't have to. People would have understood if you locked off the whole concert. People would have understood that's a family issue. It goes past what you're doing as your job. But the courage to just keep going and perform, and just see Into in person, see the new tracks, see some old tracks. It was mad. It was crazy. But what happened before happened once again, and Akel was arrested in 2024, like I said at the start of this video, and sentenced to 6 years and 9 months in prison due to firearm offences, which changed the whole outlook on the group, and they can't wait 6 years and just keep doing like what they did, double back again, and just wait Friak, which is, of course, they'll always be there to support him. You could see them starting to do more and more solo projects, which they always have been doing. Louis Ray has recently dropped a solo project EP called Inhale, and he spoke a lot of times in lots of interviews about how he didn't have a lot of the, not spotlight, but he didn't have a lot of time to express himself on tunes. And now with this new EP and the new career, he can fully go with the UK rap sound, and they can go down different lanes and explore where there'll always be brethren. They'll always come back. It's not a beef thing. I think he even said in the interview with Arnold George, he said, this could have been a beef, like, do you get what I mean? Lots of people would have used this as a beef thing to get more publicity, and it probably would have blown up a bit more. But he was like, it's not like that, man's not fake. We're all family. It happens, things happen, life happens. He said that easily could have happened to him, what happened to Akel, and you're just going to explore different routes. It's sad to see what's happened to Akel where it's happened again, but this is the thing, there'll always be family, so you never know, in the future they could reconnect. When, let's say Akel comes out, maybe they've tried different solo stuff and they want to come back together. You never know what the future could hold, but they'll always be connected through, do you know what I mean? Just being together, what the journey they've gone through. It's a mad journey from starting at Into, even before that, just being musically influenced. Louis Ray always been rapping, and just the journey that they've been through, the bangers that they dropped, I feel like they deserve more recognition. In the UK especially, we like to do this. They hail up people for a short amount of time and then get the next person in, and then forget about who created everything. Like, for example, I've seen a lot of people online calling Wiley an uncle and this and that. In America, they celebrate the people from the past. Tupacs, the Biggies, the Snoop Dogs. Yeah. They don't uncle nothing. They big them up. They know this is where we came from. This is the culture. Over here, it's, they just go to the next brother and forget what's been made. But I feel like people need to give Western their flowers. Like, what they've done in this thing is not normal, man. It's not normal. You can't replicate that. You can't. Especially for a group from our scene. Yeah. That's rare. But forget that, for a group from our scene. Show me a group from our scene that's as good as them and has done what they've done. That no one can replicate. You can't replicate that. The sound, the talent, the quality, you can't. The Caribbean influence is mad. But yeah, I'm excited to see the solo projects. I've listened to some of Louis Ray's new project. That tune More is cold. And just seeing the future of Hailey. Of course, Hailey will be fine, man. Hailey's just Hailey. Like, you don't even need to speak on Hailey, man. Hailey's just dubbing into reggae now, on reggae beats. Of course, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, bro. He's disgusting, bro. He's singing word to Lippy. My man's dirty. You get what I mean? Just dirty on the tune. Why for that as well? But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please check out our other videos, and yeah, big up Western 100 times, and yeah, I'll always be listening to them, man. I'll always be checking out what they're doing in the future, and we'll see you lot later.